Here's the deal. Here's the deal, right? You have two plants. You have the marijuana plant, you have the hemp plant, okay?
Siblings.
In 2018, the federal government, our Congress, legalized hemp. What they did not know was that American ingenuity was going to intervene in this hemp legalization. Because inside hemp is 0.3% THC.
Okay.
If hemp's legal, that means the THC in hemp is also legal. So we extracted that hemp and we began putting it in drinks. The THC from hemp in drinks. It's the same THC as in marijuana, okay? But it's from hemp. So the police can't kick down my door in the same way being like I'm selling drugs. You get what I'm saying? And so every single state been regulating these differently and this and that and that. Some states love it, some states don't. The crazy thing about this is that in blue states, they're not fans of these because this now cuts into the legal marijuana. Even some red states have legal marijuana.
Gotcha.
So you see that?
Yes.
So that's number one. Number two, the liquor boys don't like this. Yes, I'm tipsy bartender. The liquor industry never been a friend of mine, which is why I fucking going against them anyway. Fuck them, right? So
stick it to the people.
So you understand? So these businesses have a vested interest in shutting this shit down. And so they begin to pressure fucking Congress. Now you gotta understand, like, their connections with government far more established than ours. Because this is a new industry. Yeah, you have a lot of liquor boys coming over. Like Pabst Blue Ribbon makes some legit THC drinks. Lagunitas makes
I didn't even know they were in that kind of business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, the dudes who own Corona, I think Corona's owned by this company called Constellation or something like that.
Okay.
Canada has legalized marijuana. They invest something like $100 million into that shit.
Well, once the government realizes how they make money, this shit is off.
Okay, so anyway, my point is all these liquor companies, I mean, a lot of them want this gone, but some dudes realize that, hey, why fight when you could just join the party, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but now we've gotten to the point where now Congress has been becoming involved and they're looking to shut down. Now, they tried this in Texas just a couple months ago. And you gotta understand, Texas alone is a multi-billion-dollar industry in Texas, right? And if they'd banned it in Texas, because Dan Patrick, who's the lieutenant governor, you know, hardcore conservative dude, wanted to shut it down, and it was so much backlash that in the last minute, you know what I mean, Governor Greg Abbott vetoed the bill, even though he wants to ban it himself, but it was just too much people complaining. So now we need to do that shit on a national level, which is why I'm just educating you all on what's coming down the line. But let me have someone explain it to you a little bit better than I can. This lady breaks it down so y'all can understand like what's coming.
Look, we're actually learning today. Look at that.
And many of you already, many of you who have legal dispensaries, when you go to get the drinks, they're not really marijuana drinks. They're drinks from hemp. You know what I mean? Even though they sold in the dispensary. So it's all connected.
Okay.
But let's watch this.
On Friday, a bipartisan coalition of 39 state and territory attorneys general called on Congress to clarify the federal definition of hemp and impose regulations preventing the sale of such products. In that bill, Section 759 aims to redefine hemp and define it to such a small percentage that it would be pretty much impossible for hemp operators to be compliant. So yeah, there's a ban on the table. It's on the table right now. Call your reps. Call your Senate Appropriations Committee. Find your folks who are in the Hemp Roundtable and others who are going to be posting content to help you get in touch with those folks. The Texas Hemp Business Council. A GOP, I just had to put that, you guys, I gotta let you know what's actually going on right now. A GOP senator is hoping to replace a proposed ban on hemp THC products with alternate appropriations language mandating a study into state regulatory models for consumable cannabinoids. Senator Rand Paul, a Republican out of Kentucky, this is our friend, is circulating legislative language that he's asking to be adopted as part of the final package. But right now they are pushing forward language that would ban hemp. So call them. The agriculture appropriations measure the Senate passed as part of the package over the summer initially contained provisions hemp industry stakeholders said would effectively eradicate the market by banning consumable hemp products with any quantifiable amount of THC. But after the measure came out of committee, Paul threatened to hold up its passage over the issue and language was removed. However, Senator Mitch McConnell, a Republican from Kentucky, we all know,
he's 200 years old,
in a federal legalization of hemp under 2018 in the Farm Bill, and he is now championing a THC criminalization language and took the floor to criticize those who oppose the ban, including Rand Paul. Meanwhile, Rand Paul has filed a standalone bill that would go in the opposite direction of the hemp ban, proposing to triple the concentration of THC that the crop could legally contain, while addressing multiple other concerns the industry has expressed about federal regulations. The senator introduced legislation titled the Hemp Economic Mobilization Plan, Hemp Act, in June. It mirrors versions he sponsored over the last several sessions. Separately, the retail giant Target has also started to soft launch sales of THC in beverages at
Target's going to be selling it too.
So we have some work to do today. If you're in the hemp industry, you need to be calling your representatives and sharing how a ban would affect you. I'm not going to tell you what to say. I'm going to ask you to share your story.
Anyway, that's basically, but Target is actually opening a weed section in Minnesota. Minnesota is where EddieBlue is made, Waseca, Minnesota. So that's where I went, because that's where the factory is. So we definitely love to get into Target in Minnesota. Since it's a Minnesotan product, you know. But anyway, these dudes are coming.
Every day.
These dudes are coming. Will it work? I don't know. A lot of this rides on Trump too, because Trump could tell dudes what to do. Like, we had a Congress before Trump, you know. Congress used to say one thing and then made the president say something else. But now once Trump says it, these dudes are fooled. So maybe he'll come around, you know what I mean? And maybe, Trump responds to cash, right? So what I'm saying, a lot of dudes in hemp would not mind the Trumps having, you know, a piece of the fucking industry. If you could keep the industry going, you shouldn't have to do that, but hey, this is how they do business, you know what I mean? So let's see what happens. Congress, aren't they shut down now? The Senate's still there. But yes, there's a shutdown right now, so we'll see.
When they're shut down, they just not go to work.
Target won't sell rainbow flags, but they can sell the Drake.
Target be like that.
Target's an interesting place. But there's a lot of money in this. There's so many dudes out there making some. Most of it tastes like shit. Like I said, EddieBlue is one of the few good tasting ones, because that's what we focused on, you know, the taste. Mm-hmm. And now that we've mastered the taste, the next point will be getting the right color of pink, because we're using natural colors we're using fruits to color this. But fruits, like, the minute you make it, the colors disappear almost immediately, which is why people use dyes, but I don't want to use a dye. So usually when you pour this drink, you get a whiter color, because immediately the pink kind of disappears. But we can correct that. That has nothing to do with taste, mind you. This is just the aesthetics of it, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's where the industry is. So just be on the lookout, you know what I mean? So try EddieBlue before it's banned. That's our latest ad.
That's crazy.
No, but I knew this coming in. I knew I could get fucked, right? But
damn, dude.
Yeah, but I don't want to sell alcohol. There's no alcohol. Yeah. I'll come out here and be like, hey, guy. And alcohol easier, because alcohol is legal everywhere. You don't got to worry about shit. You could just promote. With this shit, I can only promote in certain places. One of the reasons
people aren't even drinking like that.
Yeah, I know. One of the reasons why I like Twitch is because Twitch is cool with me putting up the website and talking about this, you know what I mean? YouTube isn't. And on top of that, YouTube banned me for girls in bikinis and shit like that. That weren't even on the show. It was just looking at Instagram. And this wasn't even one of the dirty ones. This is one of the clean ones. You know, she had most shit covered. She just was wearing a bikini, but the algorithm was like, no.
See what happens when you stare too long?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Anyway.
That should be a lesson for you, man.
So that's the EddieBlue lesson. So keep your eyes out. Get it before it's gone.
Oh, but get it before it's contraband. Or that could be more fun. Stock up and then resell value.
Wino, that's really good. A THC suppository. Call it EddiePoo. Yes, I like that.
That's disgusting.
Great business idea.
That's a horrible business idea.
Anyway, so now you all know. So one day I can come back and be like, guys, this is a petition. Please sign this petition to save our asses, all right? So we can see. Okay, we will.
Unless everybody wants to call their representatives, but who has time for that?
Yeah, you don't got to call them yet. We can work on it.
Why? Wouldn't you start?
We can start with a petition. You know, we can see what the boys at the top. We can see what the big boys say. You know what I mean?